Welcome to One Brooklyn, presented by Brooklyn Borough President Eric L. Adams. On this edition of One Brooklyn, Brooklyn Borough President Adams continues to roll out his Operation Safe Shopper, his pilot program that allocates Borough Hall discretionary funds to nonprofit organizations and civic associations for the purchase of cameras. Those cameras are directed towards the streets and sidewalks around the borough. Owners of those cameras register those cameras with local precincts and allow the police to access footage for investigations if needed. Crime might be at an all-time low in New York City, but the borough president wants to remain ever vigilant in combating crime, and his Operation Safe Shopper does just that.
We're giving the store owners cameras. It holds up 4 cameras, and they could add in up to 4 more new cameras if they like, on their discretion. All we ask for the store owners is, if an event happens, that the police officers are allowed to view and see what transpired in the plaza during that duration.
Okay, so funding, who's paying for this?
Funding is being done by the congressman and the borough president. It was a grant given to us, which is really appreciated, and especially in this neighborhood. Recently, we had a older lady getting her chain pulled from her while she turned the corner here on Newkirk Avenue, and with the camera that I had already installed in my store, we actually caught the suspect, and with the camera, which was great, and which made me happy.
Good morning. How's everyone? I'm Brooklyn Borough President Eric Adams, and we really want to thank our partners that participate in this important initiative that we had started several years ago, and it's about how do we create safe environments where our shoppers are. And the theme is Operation Safe Shopper, and it's a partnership with our BIDs, our local BIDs in Brooklyn Borough Hall. When we looked at the awesome cost of security cameras, we wanted to find a more realistic and costly way of having the cameras and show that cameras are not only great deterrents to crime, but they also catch those who participate in crime. And so we want to thank all the precincts that are involved, as well as our representatives from the various BIDs and community groups. Last year when we did this, we included several precincts as well, and we're happy to have representatives from the New York City Police Department. This is a partnership between the BIDs, the police department, and everyday residents in Brooklyn Borough Hall. We have representing Brooklyn South. We have Chief Chuck Scholl. We have Special Project Inspector Frank Ken Jarella. We have Brooklyn North Deputy Inspector Dan Cardan. We have the XO from the 6-9, and we have a representative from the 8th Precinct as well as our communities, groups and organizations. We have Peter Bray. Is Peter here? Did I see Peter? Peter Bray from the Executive Director of Brooklyn Heights Association. We have representative from Brooklyn North and South. We have Gadi Bruzella, President of 69th Precinct Community Council, my good friend Lauren Collins, Executive Director of Church Avenue, Flatbush Avenue BID, and of course we have our great councilman that represent this area, that's one of the initial architect that sat down with us to talk about this great initiative, Dr. Mathieu Eugene. And so Operation Safe Shopper is a really simple initiative where it's about protecting corridors and utilizing the pre-existing security cameras that stores already have inside their location. We ask the storekeepers who participate to turn one or more of those cameras towards the street. It is capturing the video that is already being utilized. If a crime takes place, the police will already have the stores registered that will have the video footage, and they can immediately go there instead of having to search out what location has video footage or not. This cuts down on the police operation. It cuts down on the need to search for where there's a camera or not, and it really expedites the investigation. Whenever there's a serious crime or an investigation underway, the police department attempts to look for wherever there are security cameras so they can get footage. Many of us know over the last few years how successful these cameras have been. It has apprehended a countless number of people who have committed or participated in some form of crime. Immediately after we instituted this program in the Crown Heights area, there was a serious crime that took place. The camera caught the footage of the person, and that person was immediately apprehended. It cuts down on the time that we need to execute any type of arrest after a crime takes place. The great thing about this is pennies on the dollar. $2,500 we institute to a bid. It allows the bid to utilize that money to identify the stores, to be at the corridors where pedestrians are moving to and from their place of business, education, or just basically shopping. And this idea was born out of what happened in Park Slope several years ago when children were being harassed and the victims of some form of harassment, and we understood that many of them use the same corridors to go to and from school, and by putting the cameras up, it helps and it assists to apprehend the person. We all remember what happened in Borough Park. Young man was kidnapped, and eventually his life was taken by an individual who took his life, and the cameras allowed to show the pathway that this young man, this child took to when he was apprehended. The assemblyman in that area was able to identify over $1 million to put security cameras. We're saying there must be a more cost-effective way of creating our own modern-day ring of steel around a community, and this is a way of doing so. So we're extremely excited about this initiative. It is extremely successful. We want to continue to see it broaden throughout the entire borough of Brooklyn. We want to continue to partner with our bids and our local community groups and organizations and find out where's the best place to place a camera. All you need is 2 cameras on different corridors to catch a person who's committing a crime entering or leaving that location. That does more than enough to assist the police department in their apprehension of the person who is involved. So it's the strategic placing of cameras, and that's why the partnership with the police department is so important, because it's those strategic placing of cameras that allows us to identify anyone who commits a crime. We're partnering with the residents down in Brooklyn Heights. They receive a large number of foot traffic coming from Brooklyn Bridge Park, a beautiful park where hundreds of people, thousands of people utilize the park throughout the summer season. And there has been a small number of people who have been committing crimes. We've partnered with the homeowners, and we're going to institute this program down the corridor along Girolamo Street. And so it is about being creative to identify individuals who commit crimes so that we can apprehend them in a quick fashion. So I want to turn it over so we can hear from some of our partners. I want to first turn it over to my colleague in government, again, who represents this area and was one of the architects behind this idea, Dr. Mathieu Eugene, City Councilman Dr. Eugene.
Thank you very much, my friend, my partner, Borough President Adams. Let me first and foremost take the opportunity to commend and thank the Borough President for this great initiative, because he knows what he's talking about. He has been in the street for many years protecting our communities. He knows what is about security of the community. And he knows also how to bring the right partners to make it happen and to make the community safe. And I want to thank all the partners, the police department, all the brave men and women in blue, who every day in and day out are in the street to protect us. Thank you so very much for what you're doing every day for us. Thank you. And I want to thank also the members of the community board and also the leadership of the community board also. And I want to thank also all the members and the leadership of the BIDs, all the precincts, and also the community organization who are part of this wonderful, wonderful initiative. Let me tell you, security of people in the community is very important for the quality of life that people need to survive and to live in a suitable place. The business, they're very hardworking people. They work hard to save money and to invest, to make investment in our communities. And they deserve to be protected. And also the shoppers, the people who come to make the business work, they deserve also to be protected. So we are talking about people who make our community vibrant. And I thank again my colleagues, Borough President Adams, for doing that. Because by doing that, not only we make the community safer, but also we secure the investments of those hardworking people. If people are not safe in the community, the business are going down. If the people are not safe in the community, the people are going to be leaving the community. By doing that, this is improvement of quality of life. And again, it is a pleasure and honor for me to be here. To all of you, thank you very much for working together to make Brooklyn safer and also to improve the quality of life. As we say every single day, together, there is nothing we cannot do. Thank you very much, and God bless you.
Thank you. Thank you. I went over the whole list of who's here, and I forgot our host. I want to thank Robin Redmond, Executive Director, Flatbush Development Corporation, for hosting us today and allowing us to come up, and we want to hear from Robin at this time.
First, I want to thank everyone for coming out to Flatbush, and I want to welcome you all to Newkirk Plaza, where you have a ridership of about 8,000 people every day. So as you can tell, the safety of the residents and the people that come here to shop and work and live every day, safety is one of our #1 concerns. So partnering with the Borough President on this initiative is meaningful to all the businesses on this corridor and on the corridors that are also selected to be part of this project. We've had a lot of issues in Newkirk, around the Newkirk Plaza area over the past few years, and the Borough President's been very active with us to try to stomp out to some of the crime and some of what is happening here. So we, as an organization, and as the group that works directly with the merchant associations of both Newkirk and Cortelyou Road, couldn't be happier to see these cameras coming in and the relationship that we have with the 7-0, who's helping us figure out where these cameras are going to be best utilized. Couldn't do it without our partners. So thank you everyone for coming out, and thank you especially to the Borough President for this opportunity, and for the local police department for working so closely with us. And on that note, I'd like to introduce Javier, who is the owner of True Value Almac, and he is the one that's going to do an installation later today for us. Thank you.
First, I'd like to thank everybody for coming out. I'd like to thank the 7-0, the Borough President, the Congressman. Yes, as an owner, we do need the support of the community, especially when we always tell the community to shop here, shop neighborhood first, support your community. And if we're having crime and we're having not a safe environment for our shoppers, they will shop somewhere else. We would like to keep them here. Yes, we are putting up systems. I had a systems already out here, and we already assisted the 7-0 with catching crime already. So it's an excellent idea, and it's great, and a lot of my merchants are welcome with this program and to help out our community. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. And representing the police department, we talk about community affairs, police officers. This is definitely a community affair. Chief, you see him everywhere, and he's really responsive to the community. Chief Scholl.
Thank you, Mr. President. On behalf of Commissioner O'Neill and the Commanding Officer of Brooklyn South, Stephen Powers, and Brooklyn North, Jeff Madry, we just want to thank the Borough President, the BIDs, and the Community Board, and the establishments for their partnership with NYPD. Although crime is down, we can always do better. So these cameras are going to assist us in our endeavors. and there's no better place than the location we're at now. 10 years ago, police officer Frank Hennessy was assigned to this post and chasing a perpetrator. He unfortunately died in the line of duty. So I can see no better place to roll this program out in this area and join the other precincts to further reduce crime in Brooklyn so the residents and shop owners feel secure. So thank you, Mr. President, thank you, elected officials, and thank you, community.
Thank you. We're really happy to partner with the Brooklyn Heights Association. As I stated, that with the opening of Brooklyn Bridge Park, the large amount of traffic has really altered that community. And one of the things that's important is how do we ensure that they don't become the victim of criminal behavior from the small number who commit crimes. And we have a great partnership with Peter Bray, the Executive Director of Brooklyn Heights Association. Peter?
Thank you. As the Borough President said, these cameras are going into a residential location in Brooklyn Heights. Gerolman Street is a 5-block stretch that extends from Court Street, where the subway station is, and it's a direct path to Brooklyn Bridge Park. And in the last few years, with the increasing popularity of the park, the traffic going up and down Gerolman Street has increased 100-fold. There's been some incidents. Fortunately, it's something that is just a matter of a very few individuals committing these acts, but nonetheless, it's been a great concern to the community. In the next, by the end of this month, we will have 9 cameras that will have been installed in the homes of people who live on Gerolman Street. It's been a very welcome program to them. They've really jumped at the opportunity to get one of these cameras. We're looking forward to working very closely with our partners at the 84th Precinct in case there's any incident that requires investigating. And I just want to conclude by thanking the Borough President for making this grant available to the Brooklyn Heights Association and the Brooklyn Heights community.
Thank you. Thank you so much. One of our great bid leaders, as I indicated, Executive Director of Church Avenue and Flatbush Avenue bids, Ms. Lauren Collins.
Hi, I represent the Church Avenue bid and the Flatbush Avenue bid. We are so grateful for this program. We have had security problems. The 70th Precinct has been amazing in helping us alleviate a lot of those. We have about 8 businesses that are currently ready to receive cameras. And actually, I hadn't mentioned this before to the Borough President, but one of them is snowballed. We have one property who was kind of talking about doing a whole camera system, and now is going to do it. So we are really, that's exactly the kind of reception that we want. We've also gone to a few businesses who've already been making their personal cameras available to the precinct when there have been issues, and are now going to be working with us to make sure that their cameras are capturing what they should be capturing and adding another camera that will help even more. So thank you so much. We're very grateful.
Thank you. Thank you. I think we have two other people who have joined us. Who are the 2 other people that's joined us? Okay. Shawn Campbell from the Community Board. You know, you got to get on your staff. You know, I got to get on that. Come on, Shawn.
We're all good. I'll just quickly express my appreciation. I'm Shawn Campbell, District Manager of Community Board 14, and I'm glad to have the opportunity to thank Borough President Adams and Councilmember Eugene. This is really testament to the many prisms through which they look at our great borough and bring together such a diverse variety of stakeholders to increase the safety and quality of life and make Brooklyn an ever greater place. So I want to thank them all and all of the people, FDC, Robin Redmond, and the Church Avenue, Flatbush Avenue bid, Lauren Collins, for all of their hard work on this. Thank you all.
Thank you. Thank you very much. We open the floor up to any questions if there are any at this time.
Just talk specifically about the types of crimes that you can see in this area. What are we talking about here?
70. Come on to the mic.
Your first and last name, please. Thank you.
Captain O'Malley, the 17th Precinct Executive Officer. Mostly around here we see property crime. We see a lot of unattended property, bicycles on the side. We're experiencing an increase in document and credit card related fraud over here. Our violent crime is at a historic low. But as Chief Scholl mentioned, we can always achieve more. So the partnership here with the bids and with the Borough President it's tremendous. It's the partnership that makes the success, and that's what drives it.
So not a lot of robberies or break-ins?
In this crime, no, robbery is down in this area. Our burglaries are down as well.
And last question, crime in the subway, people going back and forth, anything there?
We have not experienced any increase in transit crime, and transit crime throughout the city has also decreased this year. Thank you.
And the key terms is that crime is down. The goal is not only vision zero on traffic accidents, but vision zero in crime. Our goal here as the residents, not only are we chasing to make sure that our crimes are less than we had last year, we're chasing crime altogether. So the goal is zero crimes. One robbery is a robbery that a person is traumatized, and as long as that person is still on the street, he does not stay within one geographical boundary to commit a crime, as we saw what happened in Harlem, the sexual assault and the robbery of the German tourist. That person was from Brooklyn. So if we can catch them before they spread out their criminal behavior, if we can catch them here in Brooklyn, we want to catch them before they do so. So again, we're not chasing the numbers, we're chasing the criminals, and we want to decrease crime. And by identifying them on a camera, we're able to have the police do a quick apprehension. The goal is zero tolerance, vision zero for crime. No innocent person should be the victim of a criminal act in this city, and these cameras are going to assist in doing so. Any other questions? Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Chief.